not forgetting to mention that my grandma called me out of nowhere at the very end, and also I'm gonna call my mom like right now because my brother's going to the US tomorrow morning, as in Hong Kong time, so tomorrow night for me. Um, yeah, or tomorrow afternoon for me. So right now is still the best time for me to give a last phone call. All right, so time now is 9:27 a.m. on September 2nd. So I slept from 4:20 to 9:15. Yes, I just keep sleeping later and later and later. I really don't know why. I think honestly it's already a miracle that I'm able to sleep this early last night because for some reason I spent so much time last night making phone calls, and that dinner took like a whole freaking hour, like not counting the cooking. So I don't know why I spent so much time last night doing nothing. So at the very end, at around 1 a.m., I'm like, oh my god, I need to be fast. So I edited a college update video and I edited a review, and then I watched 2 episodes of Secret Invasions like really fast, and then I took a shower and went to bed. Um, but yeah. Hopefully I go to bed by like 3:30 tonight because I'll have to wake up a little early for Andrew's shoot tomorrow. Um and yeah. So today is going to be extremely interesting because it is Film 41. I'm going to crash. I'm not even enrolled in the class, but I'm going to crash the class, and it's going to be extremely interesting because tons of people are going to show up, including Leslie, to Cliff, to Betsy and Kat, and perhaps many others more. So it's going to be very interesting. My crispy voice is getting back slightly, slowly but surely. That's good. It's like an episode. It's like an episodic thing. I don't know, but yeah, I don't even know what to eat for breakfast or lunch. I think I'm just gonna eat a donut for breakfast, and then for lunch, I'm gonna go downstairs and make myself a quick bacon and cheese sandwich. And then I'll be hungry in the middle of film 41. So during the break, I'll probably eat something like a chocolate or something. Yeah. Um, but yeah, today's gonna be interesting. I don't know. Leslie's gonna be very uncomfortable around me, and it's okay because I am the one who's getting the last laugh. Like when she tried to hug me but immediately backed off a couple days ago. Um, it's I don't feel bad about it. I would have felt bad if it was like May or April, because at that point I was so desperate for her love. But at this point, I don't even feel that bad about it. If anyone's feeling bad, it's probably her. Yeah, I mean, she has conflicted feelings. I hope that a part of her still likes me, I really hope that part of her likes me and then suddenly I disappear and she's disappointed. Or at least I hope that before I completely leave, I get to just have a normal conversation with her, like an unawkward normal conversation with her just one last time. I hope that, I really do. I really hope that before I leave, I get to hang out with Justin and Cliff at least once more, like, and get high. I don't care. I want to get high with my lover the first time, but honestly, the second best thing would be to do it with friends, so might as well. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else. It's funny. Ken told me yesterday that some crazy wild shit happened to him in his personal life. It seems like it. Nothing that crazy happened in my personal life, but I'd say that the things I've gone through shaped me in very special ways, I think. And I always tell people that I'm normal and I'm fine nowadays, but in a place like LA where a lot of people have personalities of white paper, I actually stand out quite a bit. So there's that. But yeah, very excited for today. Very excited. Fuck. Okay. It's raining. I guess this is time. I had no choice. Shit. Oh my god. I saw a dead cat. Fuck. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Fuck. Fuck.
What could you want? She definitely cares about
I will do a movie night alone.
I gotta do my body.
It's a good brand. Lucian is a very good
Am I
brand.
good? Because I'm getting paid soon.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Alright, time now is 7:05 p.m. About an hour ago I came back home. So let's talk a little bit about today. Yeah, so today was something. Indeed, today was something. Right off the bat in the morning, I got a stomachache and I went to the bathroom, but luckily it was enough time for me to eat breakfast, film a review, and very fast, high speed, went downstairs to the Ukrainian household and made myself a bacon grilled cheese, really high speed. Did it in like 30 minutes and I almost missed the bus. So yeah, I didn't arrive at CMD. I wasn't late for the class, but I was not as early as I hoped I would be. And it was also raining, which means a couple things. So back in May, I lost my umbrella in the CMD, and back then, when I and Leslie were in good terms, she put a red tape around my umbrella. And that red tape, I never took it off because I knew that someday I will lose her and all I have of her will be this red tape. And I know that at some point I'll have to cut off the red tape to use the umbrella, given that this is the only umbrella I had. And today's the day. So, yeah, I cut off the red tape. And if there's any day to cut off the red tape, it's today. It's today. Today's the day. So, yeah, and it was raining only a little bit, and I hopped on the bus, and by the time I was on the bus, it stopped raining. I also saw a dead cat next to this building in a lawn, and it was dead because it's definitely not sleeping. I think the tail's cut off or something. It's really disgusting. It stinks, and there's a swarm of flies, and one of the flies got beside my ear, and it was really disturbing and upsetting. But anyways, I arrived at CMD at around 12:30. And the class starts at 12:45. Also in the Ukrainian household, there are a couple of black women there, so it's not just me being an awkward, like, stick out like a sore thumb, you know. But anyways, I arrived at CMD, and then outside of CMD, I saw Victor the Mexican, who I briefly met in the middle of spring break when I was trying to hang out with Cliff and Justin. Yeah, whom I briefly met, and he remembered me, and he was with a couple other guys, a black guy and a Japanese guy. The same Japanese guy who I confused with Justin on May 20th during the Shane Black event, which was really funny. And apparently he's going to Film 41 as well. So I'm like, oh, here we go. So I walked into CMD, and lo and behold, a lot of people are there. Christian Hinata is there. I went up to her and I was like, oh, you're still here. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, I thought you transferred. And aside from Hinata, we also got Jake, the camera operator for WoW, as well as Erwin, one of the set dressers. And then Cliff was there too. It's been a while since I've seen Cliff, I realize. I haven't seen him since Oppenheimer. Yeah. And then we went into the class, and I'm like, oh, is Betsy here? Because I thought Betsy would be here. So apparently Betsy's already waiting in the class. David, the Swedish guy, is already waiting in the soundstage. And then I sat at the very back of the class, right beside Cliff. And then Chiara, the Italian woman, showed up. I had no idea she's coming. And she sat, like, basically behind me, or, like, behind me and then to my right. And then the Mexican guy, Victor, sat behind me and to my left. Justin was to the right of Chiara. So Justin came. I thought Justin wouldn't come. When he came, he's like, oh, Enoch, you're here too. Given how much of an interesting conversation we had yesterday. And then, yeah, we got Betsy sitting at the very front row. We got David behind Betsy. And then we got Yilin, the Malaysian girl. She's here too. What the fuck? There's a whole party. And Hinata sat with Yilin. Christian's there. Christian sat at the very front left side of the soundstage. And then Kat never showed up. Apparently Kat's only taking online classes this semester. And who else am I missing? So many people showed up. And of course, the real star of our show, Miss Leslie, showed up. Let's see. There's a Korean girl whom I have briefly seen because she took Film 50 with Tova last semester. She is here as well. And then Lauren the DP showed up and sat to the right of Cliff, and Cliff and Lauren, they talked so much today, and they were just nerding out about cameras and lenses and lights and C-stands and hard drives. They had this whole hard drive talk, and they're in their zone, and even Justin couldn't break in, because Justin and Cliff are the OG friends, the same way I and Cedric were, but our paths just diverge. Similar here. And then Simon, the sexual harasser, showed up. Yes, that was a surprise. Simon sat at the very front, and it's pretty awkward. And then finally, Leslie shows up. But she's not a student. She's more of just there as a teacher assistant than a student. She's got to be somewhere in between. She's both, but I don't even know. But she's there, and in the very beginning of class, we had to wait for like half an hour because the professor was late or something. So Drew told everyone to wait. So we all waited and we all chatted, and it was a fun time. And seeing Leslie again is just, here she is again. I have nothing to say to that. And then at some point, the Indian professor came in and we all clapped. It was really funny. And then we start the class with self-introduction. Everyone stands up and introduces themselves, starting from Justin, all the way from the back to the other side. And then I did, and David did, and then Betsy did. And then at the end, it came down to Leslie, and she didn't do a self-introduction. The Indian professor basically said, hey, everyone, this is Leslie. We all know her, right? And then everyone clapped for her. So she's a bit of a celebrity. I don't know why. Maybe I'm being a little... Maybe it's just like an illusion, but I feel like she's become this mysterious presence. Or not mysterious, but like this force of teen angst and hot broken girl, sort of this presence, because Ken yesterday asked me if Leslie likes him or hates him. And it's just, I feel like in some small ways, Justin and Ken, and maybe some other guys too, probably kind of like her. Maybe not in a crushing sense, but almost. And, see her like as this, like upper figure. So the fact that I could get this close to her last semester was already really impressive. But anyways, I digress. Maybe it's just an illusion. But the class continues, and right off the bat, we did not have a syllabus. The Indian professor doesn't have a syllabus. This is a whole new class, and it's like he just went straight into it. He's like, okay, so this is Fresnel lights. And then he talked about the Fresnel light, he talked about the HMI, he talked about an open face light. He showed us a couple clips. These are basic things that I pretty much know like 90% of. And then we had a half an hour break, and then we went back to the soundstage to do camera stuff. We did, mounting and unmounting a lens with PL mount, and we did the same for a Canon EF mount. And then at the end, we talked a little bit about C-stands. We all backed up and formed a giant circle while the Indian professor demonstrated how to open a C-stand and how to put a baby arm, not baby arm, but baby pin in an arm, and then, yada yada. Very practical. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. And the Indian professor's really funny. I couldn't stop fucking laughing. It's really funny. I and Justin kept laughing. And Cliff is funny too, but Justin made it extra funny. So yeah, there's that. Now there are a lot of moments. So during the break, Simon came up to me and talked to me a little bit like, so how's your film 33? How did it go? And it was a little sus. I know he knows that I fired him, but I was actually really natural with him. I was like, oh, it went interestingly. Like, I'm not afraid to tell him that it sucked, And then I told him how, I transferred to USC, but I'm still here just to hang out, and it's whatever. It's a crazy application process. So, I got nothing to hide from him, He's a weird, creepy guy, but, I'm just being nice, and I'm doing it really well. And for a good chunk of the first half of the break, I was with Cliff and Justin, and we were joking around, and at some point, Leslie came. So Leslie was outside of the building. At that point, me, Cliff, and Justin were at the corner of the building right beside the entrance where Cliff was trying to import or maybe export some videos from his laptop to a hard drive that he just got, plugging the laptop into the power outlet. And we were at the very corner, and then Leslie was outside, and Leslie turned around. I was looking outside menacingly, right? Leslie turned around and saw me. And so I was like, well, and Leslie did. And it wasn't like a very, we know each other thing. It was just like a very subtle way of saying hi to each other. It's just an eyebrow raise, really. It's just, I don't know how it just happened naturally. I think I did it first and then she did it back, but I wasn't that surprised that she did it back. I was just like, yeah, Anyways, she came in, she joined us, and again, all three of them, Cliff, Justin, Leslie, were all squatting or like sitting on the floor straight up. I wasn't. I don't want to fucking sit on the floor. And funny enough, Leslie and Justin speak to each other in Mandarin, but Justin has a Malaysian accent. Leslie obviously has a northern accent. And I can clearly hear them both what they're saying. I understand it. Cliff doesn't really know what they're saying. I clearly know. So I thought, wouldn't things have been different if I had spoken to Leslie in Mandarin, though? To be fair, Mandarin's not even my first language, so, it's whatever. It's whatevs. And then the three of them went out for a vape break, so I joined the other gang. In the middle of the quad, it's Christian, Elin, Hinata, David the Swede. And so I joined in, and I talked with them a little bit. Elin's really nice. she's gained a lot of weight since I've last seen her. But yeah, she's really uplifting, really extroverted, and I thought she's gonna be like the next Ariel because of how enthusiastic she is about filmmaking. But on the contrary, um, we talked about Film 33 a little bit, and Hinata mentioned that you need to pay to be a PA, and Ilin's like, hell no, I'm not paying. I'm not paying that shit. So I guess Elin is out of the power ladder for now. So that's really interesting. Extremely interesting. Um yeah, and then not much else. The break was over. I wanted to speak to Betsy and conspire, but I didn't get the chance. Went back in the classroom, did some camera stuff. At some point, it's Jake at the very right side, Leslie, and the Indian professor. We got 3 cameras and 3 lenses, and we need to, every single person needs to go out, mount and unmount the lens, come back, and then again with the Canon mount. And the first time I went to Jake, the second time I went to the Indian professor, I specifically avoided Leslie. I don't know how she feels about that. Maybe she feels that, oh, of course, he's avoiding me. Maybe she feels that, great, he's avoiding me. He knows that I suck. He still hates me. Maybe he has no feelings towards it. And I think it's the third thing, but it's whatevs. And then we have the whole C-stand part of today's class. We had about half an hour left, and we just played with some C-stands. And Leslie standing the opposite side of the room, and I can tell she looked at me a few times. I didn't look at her like almost at all. I just focused on something else. But I was sometimes distracted because of her, because I had to think of her. But yeah, she acted really cold towards me, but not in a malicious way. It doesn't feel hatred, like hate kind of cold. It was just like we're both strangers, as if we just met. Which I think is like the best possible thing. Like, I can't ask for anything more. I mean, she isn't malicious towards me. At the end, when we had to put back the C-stands, I put back the C-stand and I was right beside her. And the C-stand rack was full of stands already, so I had to put the C-stand somewhere else, like beside it. And she told me, just put it at the side, whatever, just let it fall. And I'm like, it's gonna fall. And she's like, yeah, just let go. So I let go of the stand, and then she like caught the C-stand, and I just walked away. Yeah, again, if this was April, it would have been like, oh my god, I'm near her now. She's talking to me. She caught the C-stand. That might mean something. Like, does she hate me now? Does she like me more? Like what's going on? But right now, it's very much the opposite. Like, I don't care. And it's both sad and calming. Like, there's something really peaceful about, and given that today's rainy and cloudy, but it's really calming and not even in a happy way. It's just sad. I listened to Evangelion's soundtrack on the bus when I went to CMD, and when I went back, I just listened to slow music that is kind of sad and in my conspiracies playlist essentially. But that's pretty much it. And then I left, and then I saw Betsy, and then Betsy said, "Oh, do you want to chat for a little bit?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure." Betsy knows I want to talk, but I didn't get the chance to talk to her that much. I did see Naja because Naja just finished her class. Um, but yeah, I and Betsy talked a little bit. Betsy talked about Film 34. I did not reveal the letterbox thing to her yet, but I will next Saturday because I'm gonna leave the fucking country anyway, so might as well fuck it up and burn it all down. Victor, the Mexican guy, also asked me a lot of questions about USC applications, so I gave him a lot of advice and like sent him a bunch of stuff. So that's really cool. Yeah, and then yeah, anyways, I kept bouncing back and forth. Like, I joined up, I want to leave with Cliff and Justin. I also really low-key want to just follow Cliff and Justin to a house and just get high with them or get drunk or whatever. Just like enjoy my last bit of freedom here until I go back to Hong Kong for 3 months, so that I have a story to tell at least. To be fair, if I go back to the old apartment on my birthday and then get drunk with three attractive Asian girls, I haven't even seen the fucking third one. I think that would have already been a very good story, but either way. Um, yeah, but I hope I do like hang out with Justin more, because Cliff is really fucking busy. So Cliff's working on a feature film with Ariel, and then Kuchio got Cliff to another feature film, a couple weeks later, and they're filming at Big Bear Lake. So great nepotism, great connections, woohoo. Um, yeah, so Cliff's gonna be really busy, and Cliff's also a really technical person. I'm more of an artsy person. So I and Justin will vibe a lot more, I feel like. But anyways, um yeah, in the building outside of soundstage after class was over, um Kuchio showed up. And I think he looked at me a couple times, but he was from a far distance. I didn't speak to him. I don't think he knows that it's me. But one giant piece of evidence is that Cliff and Justin told me about the letterbox thing, and they don't know that it's me. But Justin at some point asked, "Is it you?" And I didn't answer. I evaded that question. But yeah, but apparently it happened in the middle of class because somebody in the new film 33 probably said it out loud in front of the whole class, and that's how Kuchio learned. So that's probably what happened. But yeah, I saw Kuchio. Kuchio spoke with Kiara a little bit and then walked away. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I left with Justin. Someone's driving Justin away. Cliff and Kiara are walking to their homes. And I took a bus back home. And as I and Kiara and Cliff are walking on the opposite road, opposite from the campus, Leslie showed up from behind us. A secret sneak attack from the back. On a skateboard with a vape. Like a little gremlin. Like a little elf. Like a little fucking creature. Monster, to be fair. Zoomed past us, and Cliff yelled out Leslie's last name in Mandarin, and Leslie didn't even respond to us and just went away. So, honestly, Leslie acts just as cold towards Justin and Cliff as she is to me. Maybe closer to Cliff and Justin because of what happened with me, but it's just as cold. It's like nothing happened, But I think this is the best I can ask for, because if Leslie returns with love and say, "Oh, Enoch, I want to be with you," which is fucking stupid, Back in May it seems possible, but now it's just stupid. Honestly, I would just refuse her simply because of the amount of psychological damage that has been inflicted on me. If it's any worse, like if Leslie starts like cussing at me or like straight up, okay, my laptop's screaming, cussing at me and like avoiding eye contact with me or whatever, then it would just be a very bitter ending. I think this very moderate middle ground ending is perhaps the best ending I could get. She still follows me, she still sees me, but we just have nothing to say to each other. And I bet I go back to Hong Kong for 3 months, I meet new people, Leslie will just be forgotten, the same way I've forgotten Mary. I still love Mary though, don't get me wrong, but not romantic love anymore. More like the idea of her and a respectful kind of love. Like, I'm still going to write and direct a whole feature film for Mary, the same way I'm going to write and direct a whole short film for Leslie. But they're not real people anymore in my mind, and I think that's the best way to process it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. That's pretty much it. I am extremely hungry. I'm gonna make myself rice carne asada with green beans and call it a day. All right, time now is 12:04 afternoon on September 3rd. Yeah, we're 15 days away from leaving. So that's something. I slept from 3:45 to about 12. I even woke up naturally at around like 8 a.m. But yeah, last night, I was watching Cowboy Bebop episode 2 and I almost fell asleep. I don't know why. I'm just extremely sleepy. Like at around 3 a.m., at around 2:40 something a.m., I was already like drowsing. I don't know why was I so sleepy yesterday. I was so tired. So I'm like, fuck it, let's sleep. So I slept and it's an amazing sleep. On top of that, I woke up and I have a crispy voice right now. It's been half a month since I've had this voice, so I ain't complaining. But yeah, I had a bunch of dreams, but I guess the only one that I remember was I was chatting with Alba, and we're just hanging out, and she's talking about something about Japanese culture, but it wasn't like, ooh, Japanese culture, weeb. It's just like, oh, interesting. That's it. And I remember talking to Tova about Film 41. But yeah, for some reason it's such a peaceful sleep and it felt really good. And I woke up and I feel peaceful. I feel peace. Um I think yeah. I don't know, and that's in relation to Leslie. I think what I said last night was really correct. This is the best I can ask for. If Leslie and I, you know, if she treats me worse, it's just bad. But if she treats me really well suddenly, it's just gonna remind me of the psychological damage that I've endured because of her. So the best way to do it is to just ignore me and just, still look at my Instagram stories from time to time, but, just quietly disappear into the sands of time. And I think that's just the best way it could go. Um so yeah, you know, that's that. You know. I'm excited to go back to Hong Kong and meet people there. I'm excited for my birthday, low key. This is the first time I've been excited about my birthday since a long, long time ago. Wow. Even Naja, I and Naja had a very long talk last night. Even Naja was like, "Oh, you're leaving on September 18th. We should do something before you leave, like have lunch and watch a movie or something." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, maybe." And I'm shocked because that has never happened to me before. Like back in the secondary school age, Natalie and Cedric and other people have never treated me this way. Like, "Oh, we should go hang out or whatever." Like no, I just disappeared from, you know, from Hong Kong and they just didn't really care all that much because I wasn't all that important. But now I know I'm not a super important person, but I've made impact on several people. This documentary, me in Film 33, me in CMD, I've done things, you know, and that's really freaking cool. I've grown as a man. It's interesting too because yesterday Michelle was talking about her friend Lauren and how she's talking about suicide and death again and she's going through like a depressive episode. And I'm like, yeah, when I was 15, 16, I would say things like that too. and I gave Michelle some advice on how to help her on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I forgot what I'm gonna do today. So today is gonna be a bit interesting. Today we're doing Andrew's short film shoot the last day, but the call time is like 6:30 p.m. because today we're going to film at night, and hopefully it's not gonna be an overnight shoot or something. That would be very terrible. So this afternoon I have nothing to do, so I will be finishing Cowboy Bebop episode 4. I'll watch The Cremator. With this freaking good voice, I think I'll film something. I don't know, film a commentary for my short film. I'll make myself breakfast and lunch here. And I'm just chill out, maybe read some manga even. But yeah. Okay, today we're gonna try this rice cracker that's been sitting in my room, and I've been moving it twice already. This is all the way from February. Rice cracker from Mexico, given to me by Aoba, the Japanese girl. And I'm finally gonna eat it, because why the fuck not? Okay. A lot of the rice has already fallen off, as you can tell. But there's still a good core chunk in the middle. How the hell am I gonna eat this without using my hands? Probably like this. Okay.
I got so much to say.
Don't cut the meat, and it wasn't my private stash.
The sandbag, right? To keep it.
Yeah, makes it steady.
Is there a sandbag around?
Less of that refrigerator.
Yeah.
We can't be closer because we lose Josh too much.
I liked it when
But here we go. And
action.
Alright, time now is 3:27 a.m. on September 4th. I just came back home like 5 minutes ago. I'm in my street clothes still, and this is a plum. This is a plum from the Jewish woman himself. I don't think I've eaten a plum since like years, and I'm eating it just like this, so. Sweet. So let's talk a little bit about today. Really great sleep I had today. Amazing sleep. And frankly, I think today's really productive. Because right off the bat, breakfast, I decided to eat a couple raisin and oatmeal cookies. I have Aoba's rice cracker and then some chocolate milk. And I immediately watched 2 more episodes of Cowboy Bebop, which I was supposed to finish today. And so I originally thought at first that today for Andrew's shoot, it's going to be very early in the morning till afternoon. So I'm going to sleep very little and it's going to be very tiring. But no, it's actually a night shoot. It's not overnight, not really. But the call time is actually 5 p.m. And then a little bit later, I received an email from Andrew saying that the call time has been pushed to 6:30. So I think I expected the shoot to go from 6:30 to like 1 a.m. or something. And I'm right. In fact, it went till 2:30. But having that expectation in mind, I thought that it would be wise for me to watch the movie first and then go out to Andrew's shoot. So that's what I did. After the 2 episodes of Cowboy Bebop, I filmed myself doing the commentary, taking advantage of my crispy voice. and then I watched the cremator, watched the whole thing, 100 minutes, and right after that I waited about 10 more minutes, and then boom, Justin, the other guy, Justin the Latino, not Justin the Malaysian, picked me up with Alex in the car as well. And at that point it was like 6:40 already. So by the time we arrived at the set, which is the same house by the way, it's like 7:15. So I arrived and yeah, you get the usuals, people I've seen before. And then I was dying of hunger and then while watching the cremator I had one chicken thigh and chopped salad. So that's already something, because I thought to myself, tonight the quote unquote dinner is going to be set dinner. Andrew's going to buy food for us. And that food will probably not contain any vegetables. So I might as well eat the salad now. So I had the salad, which is great. And this is the only vegetable of the night I'm going to have is a plum. But, yeah. Went to the shoot. And then right off the bat, before we even start rolling the camera, we had pizza. Domino's pizza. And I had one slice of cheese pizza, one slice of pepperoni pizza. And then we kept shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. And I tried my best to be scripty. And I think I did pretty well. I fumbled a couple times. Like, I should have been more attentive. But I think overall, I'm pretty satisfied with my work. I think I've improved after John L. Short. And yeah, it just went on and on and on. Until like 2:30, which is a little later than I thought. And then 2:30 we went back and boom, here I am. Easy peasy, simple as that. Yeah, and the weather's really fucking cold. Like, it's really cold. It's like 16 degrees Celsius at 2 a.m. up in the valley, which is like winter levels of cold. So I'm wearing a thin short sleeve shirt, so that was a bit of a mistake. Hopefully I don't catch a cold or anything. But yeah, it's cool, because in the very beginning of this shoot, I was very scared that I don't know anyone, like Ariel, Cliff, Leslie, Naja. But that doesn't stop me from socializing. At the end of the shoot, I was able to joke with everyone. Like, I threw out a couple of jokes that made everyone laugh a couple times. It was kind of nice, and I had a really nice conversation with Andrew in the car about classes in our college, as well as like our favorite teachers and like history and archaeology. Like, he's still in the college apparently, but all the classes are online, and he's taking English literature, like mythology, fantasy writing, Japanese literature. Back then he took a marine biology class because he found it interesting. He almost took a fashion class. Like, he's just trying to expand his interests, and I think that's really respectable, and that's really cool. And I told him, hey, I also want to minor in something like archaeology or history. If I stick with film studies, that for sure will happen. So yeah, if I fail to get into film production, it's not the end of the world. I get to minor in history. Like, isn't that fucking cool? I also took some time out yesterday, like last night, doing research for like Yale and Harvard courses on history to see how expansive their history and archaeology courses are. Because, UCLA and USC, they're known for film, but also they're known for engineering and biology and stuff like that. But universities well known for archaeology and history are actually not very common unless they're really prestigious. And it turns out Yale and Harvard have very nice history programs, but even so, they only have like one Chinese history class, respectively, which is very fucking lame. which made me wonder what sort of Chinese history classes does, I don't know, Hong Kong University provide or something. So yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I've always wanted to teach Chinese history. If there's one subject that I want to teach, it's Chinese history. It's not even film. Though teaching film would be really cool. But yeah. I'm gonna take a shower and go to bed now, call it a day. Tomorrow I'll stay here whole day. And it's gonna be chill. It's gonna be nice. Next week is gonna be stacked. Like, Michelle earlier today asked me, like, are you ready for this Friday? And I'm like, wait, my birthday is this week? What the fuck? That's true. So yeah, my birthday is going to happen in about 4 days, essentially. And I'm not prepared for that at all. But I looked at my calendar and it's pretty fucking stacked. Tomorrow I'm not gonna do anything. Rest whole day. Tuesday I'll do laundry. Wednesday I'm gonna have my solo night where I basically chill, watch a really great film, and order takeout on Grubhub. September 7th, film 5. I'm gonna go really early to look at the film New 33 People. At night I'm gonna go back to the old apartment, the Sawtell apartment, and hopefully get drunk and have fun. September 8th is the joint interview with Tova, which is hype as fuck. September 8th at night, floating weeds with Michelle. September 9th, I'm going to go to church for the last time. And then maybe after church, I'm going to go hang out with Potter. So that's 4 days of pretty cool events in a row. And these 4 days will basically be, I'll basically see all the important people that I've known in my life here. Aside from, I think, Alba and Pepper. But like everyone else, I'll basically see them. And then the last week comes on. September 11th to 18th. Literally my final week here. September 17th, there's a John L. short film premiere. Thank God I decided to leave on the 18th. I got the screening just right on time. Like, I'm really fucking lucky. On the 15th, I got Ashes of Time. I'll do laundry one last time in the final week as well. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Not much else. I'm brainstorming currently. Violent Femme, my short film idea, which is about Leslie. It's not even originally about her, but I'm going to make it about her. But I also don't want this short film to be like a conventional romance film. So I'm really brainstorming. I feel like I have passed my creative era. Like, the first 2 weeks of August, for some reason, is like creative explosions nonstop every day. But like, I feel like I'm past that again. Like, right now I'm a little bit stuck again. Not completely stuck. It's not a writer's block. Just normal creative juices phase, moderate. Oh, but also today, after I watched Cowboy Bebop, the Jewish woman randomly barged in. I mean, she knocked the door and I opened the door. And she was holding like this tray, this paper box tray, and on it was like 3 danishes. Like, there's an apricot, there's a blueberry and cheese Danish, there are 2 muffins, and there are like 3 plums and another thing. And he's like, come on, take some. You can take 2 pastries, which is great. Free food, hell fucking yes. But because there's so much, and I totally did not plan that at all, I just finished a rice cracker. He plopped that box onto this black chair, which I have painfully wiped down and alcohol sprayed. But he just fucking plopped it on the chair. And then I had a chocolate milk, like a plastic cup of chocolate milk here, and a plate with rice cracker here. And he gave me that small plate of plums. and he forcefully put the plate down. Like, I was trying to hold the plate still, but I didn't want to put it down on my table because I painfully wiped down this table. He took my chocolate milk and moved it closer with her fingers, touching the sides of the cup, which I will touch with my lips. So I'm basically licking her fingers. And then he forcefully put down the plums, which is very stupid, but I don't blame her. I'm just a clean freak, so I cleaned up everything again, and I washed the cup of chocolate milk. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Hopefully I don't have to spend a lot of money on Ralph's and shit. Yeah. All right. Time now is 12:50 afternoon on September 4th. We are about 13 days away from leaving. So yeah, I had a good sleep. Slept from 4:20 to 12, like 12:40. Pretty good. Pretty nice sleep, I must say. Yeah. I also had a huge dream, and I also kind of forgot what I dreamt about, honestly. Yeah. Today it's going to be chill. I'm not going to leave the apartment at all. I'm going to stay here, relax. I'm going to watch 4 episodes of Cowboy Bebop. I'm not even going to fix my hair. Like fuck this, you know? Like, I'm just going to let it be. I'm going to watch another film in the afternoon. I'm going to I don't know, watch read some manga. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Nothing to be said. Nothing to be done, nothing to be said. It's all good. Yeah. That's pretty much it for today. I wonder how my brother's doing in Minnesota. I feel like I and my brother aren't really all that close in the last 20 years. And I feel like now would be the apt time for me to check on him from time to time. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's it. You know, last night was awesome. It wasn't the best shoot ever, but considering that this is going to be the last shoot I will ever attend in LA before I return to Hong Kong, just means something, you know. And I'm glad I'm able to help Andrew out and everything. Yeah. Again, I'm incredibly excited for my birthday. The 4 days of celebration. The 4-day long celebration is essentially what it's going to be called. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. I really am. You know, I'm just grateful for the smallest things. You know, for some other people, on their birthdays, they get nice cars and have sex and feasts, like $2,000 steaks, but you know, I don't need that shit, you know. If Leslie says happy birthday to me, I think that would just be like enough of a prize, you know. But I don't think she will, and it's okay. Like, if I see her on that day, it's already fucking great. Yeah, speaking of which, you know, yeah, I'm writing Violent Femme. Yeah, I want to write 3 scripts at once. Like 2 features and 1 short film, and then maybe in late September I'm going to start writing the short film. But for that I need to know if I'm able to shoot it. Like, yeah. For that I need Glenn to be my actor. I don't want anyone else. And then I'm going to ask Allegro some things about Chinese prop houses. But yeah, you know, that's that. I'm gonna write around the budget, and if we're using Cliff's camera to shoot it, then I'll have to find someone with a Blackmagic 6K in Hong Kong as well. So yeah, rent some good lenses, some zooms, maybe an ultra wide fisheye lens. Get a team together, print out some Tibetan Tonkas. That would be fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Chill day, chillax. Yeah, I really don't think about Leslie all that much. Like, she's becoming more and more of a distant concept, despite the fact that I saw her 3 times within a span of 4 days. Yeah, and I look at my WhatsApp conversation with her, and we were so close at some point, like in May. It's just crazy how close we were. Like, we talk almost every day, and she, you know, she would randomly text me, "Hey, I just watched Apocalypse Now," and I'm like, "How is it?" And she's like, "Oh, I fucking love it." Like, small things like that. It's just so sweet. Yeah, I was speaking to Andrew last night in the car, and we talked about how in the overnight shoots everyone went delirious. And Andrew mentioned to me that in the middle of like the midnight, Leslie started saying "I love you" to Andrew. She even slept on Andrew's shoulder a couple times, which I took a photo of because it happened right in front of me. It was like a fuck you to me, essentially. So yeah. But you know, everyone was delirious during the overnights. Everyone was. Yeah, and I'm excited for the doc. The Film 33 documentary is going to break grounds, shake worlds. So, you know, very excited for that. Let's try this apricot Danish. That she's definitely messed with her fingers, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's try it. Okay. How do I do this? Alright, time now is 2:08 a.m. on September 5th. Yeah, today was really chill. I stayed at home the whole day. Home as in this one. Didn't go anywhere. It's been a while since I've stayed at home the whole day. Last time I did that was basically in the old apartment. But, yeah, very unproductive, unfortunately. I spent a lot of time. I didn't even, like, daydream or anything, but for some reason today, just time moved really fast. I just finished watching one movie, and I'm not sure if I have enough time to watch 4 episodes of Cowboy Bebop, like, right now. But yeah, you know, overall today it's fine, you know. I finally got the courage to send my short film to my old Chinese teacher. And just like the last couple times I did that, he read my WhatsApp and then just left it there. And maybe a month later he'll respond, so we'll see. And then another thing is, yeah, I had a phone call with my mom for a while right before I had lunch or dinner, I think. Yeah, for lunch, I had no idea what the fuck to eat, and I don't want to buy food either. So I made myself miso soup from the packet. I have 4 packs of miso soup paste, plus shrimp noodles, and then I made this cheese, egg, and broccoli thing, and it tastes terrible. It's like a 3 out of 10, but I still ate it up anyways. Like, when you're hungry, you can eat anything. I was dying of hunger. And then at night I made rice, beef with this garlic marinade, and then cabbage and mushroom fried. So today, throughout the whole day, the Jewish woman isn't in the apartment at all, which is great because I have all the freedom to do whatever shit I want. But in the middle of cooking dinner, she came back, which is a bit scary for me because the beef, it's beef, but I'm not sure if it's kosher beef or not. It's from Ralph's, that's all I know. And and also the beef is slightly rotting. I don't know why. I think it's probably like not very organic beef when I bought it from Ralph's, because I bought it from Ralph's like 3 days ago, and theoretically it shouldn't rot this fast. I think it's rotting because it's not that fresh in the first place when I bought it. Thus, it's very cheap price. But yeah, I dumped all the beef into a bowl of water to sort of release the blood juice, and that looks really non-kosher, I guess, because there's blood in it and it looks violent. So I was like trying to hide it from her, but halfway through cooking dinner, she came here and I basically stopped cooking. I just looked at her because I just literally can't. The kitchen's so ridiculously small. And she came back with tons of food with her. Like, she said her client left food for her, and it's essentially a bunch of Chipotle paper boxes of like Chipotle white rice and Chipotle onions and Chipotle something else like lettuce. And so she plopped her stuff on the stovetop, which is like electronic, but still on the stovetop right next to my pan. And then right beside the stovetop, there's this little counter that's filled with bottles of pills and miscellaneous garbage. And I could barely put my plate on there. And then she had like a Tupperware plastic box and she just plopped it on my plate on top of my fucking garlic without even asking me. And I know it's her plate and her place, but goddamn, I'm eating food with that fucking plate. You can't just plop some shit on top of my garlic. Like, if there's nothing on my plate, fine. It sucks, but fine. But there's garlic, so I had to grab all the garlic pieces with my bare hands, wash the plate, and then slap the garlic back. It's so primitive. It's disgusting. And then it gets worse from there, because she asked me if I want some chicken. So her client, I don't know what sort of client, but she said her client gave her some barbecue chicken and some barbecue beef. So she had this raw beef and raw onion skewer, just one skewer, but it's gigantic, like the size of like an arm. It's huge. And then it's like raw and she doesn't know where to put it. So she just grabs a garbage plastic bag that has shit in it, like orange skin probably from like 2 weeks ago. She plopped it into the garbage bag that's hanging from the cabinet, and then she used that bag, stuffed the skewer in it, and then stuffed it in the kitchen. No wonder in the fridge. No wonder the fridge smells like garbage, because it is full of garbage. And then there's this barbecue chicken, and she's like, do you want a piece? And because I'm running out of meat and I want more meat, I'm like, sure, great, thank you. So I was gonna grab a fork, and I'm gonna wash the fork, and then I'm gonna fork the chicken, but she used a spoon in her own fingers, like a finger from one hand and a spoon from another hand, and just clamped it onto my plate on top of my fucking raw garlic, which I was going to pour onto the pan to cook my garlic cabbage mushroom stir fry. But she just fucking plopped it on there, like without asking. Like, she's one of the dirtiest people I've ever lived with. Like, she would just, I swear if she came in, she would just be like, oh yeah, bread, and take it out of her fucking pocket and plop it onto my keyboard. Like, she's the ravioli type person, unironically. So, yeah, but, yeah, that's that. And then she doesn't know that I'm using a rice cooker. She's like, what is this thing? And I'm like, it's a rice cooker. And she's like, oh, interesting. Like, I bet she's probably really confused. Like, I bet if I, like, make, like, she's so particular about kosher foods. And again, I respect the Judaism, but I bet my ass if I decide to, like, I don't know, bring sushi back home or eat, I don't know, beef fried noodles. She's gonna be so confused. So is that kosher? Is that not? Like, I don't know. I bet she's never eaten a Chinese meal ever in her life. Like, I bet she's never. So that's that. But yeah, overall, it's an okay day. The dinner's a little frustrating. I didn't eat dinner until 11 p.m. And another thing is I DM'd Ashley telling her that I'm going to the apartment on Thursday, which is apparently 3 days later, so fuck yeah, it's actually more like 2 days later. So yeah, you know, I'm 21. Fuck me. But yeah, I told Ashley that, and Ashley was like, yay, what time? And I said maybe around 7:30-ish. And then she said, yeah, what food do you want? What do you want us to make something? And I told her like, hey, you know, I really don't want you to do extra work for me, because it's wild, because we don't even know each other that well. You don't have to do anything crazy for me. You don't have to, you know, bake me a cake or whatever. Like, we can just order takeout together. I'll pay for my food, you guys will pay for your food, and then we can just hang out a little bit, and that's already amazing. Like, I don't need anything special. I really don't. But she's like, no, but like, you know, we could make food for you. And I'm like, okay, laughing emoji. And she's like, so what food do you prefer? And I have no idea. I can literally eat anything. Like, I can literally actually eat anything. Like, at this fucking point, if you give me like instant ramen, I'll eat it up, because I'm broke and hungry and sad and malnourished. So this is like too luxurious for me. Like, what? I don't know how to answer this. So I told her, like, I can literally eat anything. Like, I don't know, Japanese, Korean. I'm not in the mood for fast food, so maybe not that. As long as there's vegetables, I'm happy. And she's like, wow, that's very healthy. And that's pretty much it for today. Nothing else. I didn't speak to a lot of people. I feel that Justin's sending me more memes again. I feel like I and Justin are gonna talk more, because I feel like we vibe even more. Like, even though I'm closer to Cliff, as always, but I feel like I and Justin are the creative types. Like, Cliff is more the technical type. I'm also a bit of a nerd for technical shit, but I am even more so of a creative type. And I don't know, I've been thinking about Leslie again. I know it's been like 2 months, but I'm still thinking about her. You know, a month ago I would think of her in one way, but now I think of her in a different way. Again, like I said a couple days ago, I think what we have right now is probably the best solution we can have. Like, you know, I just think that, am I too loud? I hope I'm not too loud. I just think that, yeah, I just think that, I'm glad it happened. It's sad. And again, a lot of people around me, even Ashley, my roommate, like, she's on her second, third boyfriend, whatever. She's probably fucked. And I wouldn't be surprised. But I also don't really care all that much anymore. And I feel like the fact that I have confessed to Leslie already makes me so much more stronger and so much more mature of a man. Fuck off. Like, okay, I'm so pissed at, like, because this house is so small. It's so big yet so small for some reason. Like, I barely get enough space to do shit, so I keep running into shit. But, yeah, what I want to say is, I just feel like, I'm glad I confessed. And by confessing, I'm risking losing her. Like, there are girls, I guess I've never really had this situation before, but, you know, if you like a girl so much you can't afford to lose her, then I probably wouldn't even confess to her unless she confesses to me first. Because confessing means I may get rejected, and then it'll be awkward from there on out, like fucking Leslie. But my decision to confess to Leslie meant that I was ready to lose her. And so, in a way, this is exactly going as planned. You know? In a sense, it is going exactly as planned. So, it's not really the end of the world. And yeah, you know, in the future, I really look forward to making a short film based on her. I just think, and I don't know, somehow she'll see it, and I hope she just knows that it's her. It's gonna be very fucking obvious, anyways. I just really like that every one of the short films I've ever made is like just a snippet of my life. Like all the short films I've made, other than My Bloody Valentine, is basically like a snippet of, you know, my mindset during a time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow I'm gonna do the laundry. I need to figure out how am I gonna do that. It's gonna be a pain in the ass, but I need to figure that shit out. So yeah. Alright, time now is 1:07 p.m. on September 5th. Ooh. I slept from 5 a.m. to basically 1 p.m. Yeah, 12:50. Yeah, I have no idea how the hell did I manage to sleep so late. Time just flew by. I didn't watch any episodes of Cowboy Bebop yesterday. And, yeah, that's that. So, I guess today's gonna be another extremely chill day. Except for the fact that I'm going to do the laundry. One out of the 2 laundry days I'm doing. In fact, it's actually quite impressive that I survived not washing any clothes from August 24th till now. Which is how many days has it been? September 5th. So that is 9 plus 5. Or 9? No. That's like 7 plus 5, so that's 12 days. I survived 12 days without doing the laundry at all because I keep wearing the same shirts and pants like 3 days, 4 days. And I'm gonna wear this for eternity here. But yeah, I'm gonna do the laundry today. I really don't know how. I think I'm gonna pick one of the boxes, maybe one of the larger boxes, medium boxes, clear it, empty it, and then just use that as a basket. You know, put a plastic bag over it. I also need to buy a new alcohol spray because I have so little left, but it should be okay today. So yeah, gonna do the laundry today. And I don't have much to review or anything today. I'm just gonna chill out. Aside from that, I'm going to read some mangas, hopefully, and write more, and just chill out more, edit some videos, edit my Japan vlogs, and that's pretty much it for today. I really look forward to my birthday. This is the first time I'm thinking that. Also, Tova texted me earlier today, asking me what am I doing tomorrow, so that's interesting. We'll see. But yeah, that's it overall. I had a bunch of small dreams. But the one that I had right before I woke up like 3 times or like 4 times. But the one I had right before I woke up was I was in this weird sci-fi futuristic place that feels like a mall, and I and Nick were watching this Kurosawa film in a small theater. And this theater is meant for like 20 people or something. And then yeah, and then apparently I'm about to leave. That place is apparently America, and I'm about to leave. For some reason, at some point, I was already back in Hong Kong, but it's like far into the future. And I was talking to a bunch of people in America through this floating flat screen. And it was like a video call, and I saw Nick and Bree. For some reason, they're together. Like in the same space, and a bunch of other people, and I was talking to them, and my mom and my help saw me talking to them in English and was like very impressed. Like, wow, you've made friends. And that's pretty much it. And that's true, you know. I think the ultimate takeaway I had from round 3 of my life here is you can literally put me in any situation right now and I would somehow be able to socialize and make friends. That's something that I completely cannot do back in the conspiracies era or round 1 or even round 2. Like, I remember how big of a fucking deal it was for me to help out with Aoba short film. It was like a very huge deal. But for me right now, helping out with Andrew's short film is like a, you know, no biggie. I just met a bunch of random people. No biggie. You know, pretty cool. Yeah, that's that. That's that. Not much else. Not much else. Yeah, again, like, I had this thought a while ago and I've already talked about it, but trying to date Leslie is like trying to fly without learning how to run yet. I just learned how to run. You remember how back in Conspiracies era, I'm like a beggar and Mary's like a goddess? And then in round 1 and round 2, I was slowly rising the ranks. I'm lower class, middle class. Right now, I feel like I'm upper class. Sure, I don't have like, I'm not in like a super tight gang of friends a la, you know, Potato Gang or Liam Ava Trinity Gang. But I'm in groups, I'm considered, like I can go to CMD and I will know half the people there. And I feel like that's already quite powerful. And people like Andrew and Red, you know, are really considering to ask me for help for their short films. The fact that there are people out there asking me for help is like next fucking level, you know. So yeah, and the fact is I can, you know, I don't have to hang out with Hong Kongers anymore. Like that's not like a limit to me anymore. Like for 8 days in a row, trapped in the fucking Frank's house and Encino. Like, I don't have to hang out with Hong Kongers. There are people that I trust just as much as Potter, you know, like Tova and Michelle. And that just goes to show, you know, how far I've changed. So you know what? I'm grateful for round 3 overall. It was a hellish experience, but I think I learned so much from it. And, yeah, that's that. That's that. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm excited for my birthday. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know what are they gonna do. Tomorrow is gonna be my celebration, so we'll see. Eating this croissant muffin thing that has custard cream and some sort of strawberry jam on it. Yeah. Okay, fuck. Where is it? Here we go. Fuck. Okay, how do I do this? Fuck me. Okay. 1.75. Okay. I really fucking hate this. Easy washing. High efficiency. Add manufacturer recommended amount of detergent. Pod. I'm not using pods. Fuck. Select desired cycle and start machine. Okay, so I don't need to download an app. Oil. Reaching the washer. Okay. Should be enough. Okay. Okay, so all I need is, okay, I'm gonna take my alcohol spray down with the box of clothes. That's round 1. This is 0. Warm up. Round 1, box and clothes. Round 2, both my hands are empty. I just need to transfer to the dryer. Round 3, the toughest part, I'm gonna need to wear gloves for that. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go, boys. Here we go. I probably should have sprayed it down, but I really don't have the fucking... really don't have much left. Okay, cycle. Normal. Okay, what the fuck? What are you doing? Bro, it came back out. Oh. There we go. Alright. I think it's done. Fuck, here we go. Okay. This is, phase 2. There we go, guys. It's done. I finished the laundry and I fit them all in one bag. They're extremely hot and I don't really know if they're clean or not because I'm looking at these socks and they look a little disheveled, but yeah, you know what? I did it. All right. It's 9:42 p.m. Yeah, I feel very unmotivated to do anything right now. I'm not tired, I'm just like, I don't want to do anything really. I just watched 4 episodes of Cowboy Bebop, and then right before that, I did the laundry, which, is, yeah, I thought it would be very difficult, and indeed it is at least 20-30 times more tedious and difficult than doing laundry in my old apartment. In my old apartment, I can just do it any day, anytime I want. I can do it overnight. It's a-okay. And I can just go out of my room, walk 3 steps, boom, I'm already right in front of the washer and dryer. But in here, I have to go up and down 4 flights of stairs. And, yeah, just like how I did it back in March last year, I basically planned it out, but this time I did it in a much more strategic way. I had gloves. It took me so long to scurry all my luggages and all the boxes to look for gloves and look for an extra plastic bag. So essentially, I got the trash clothes bag, this one, and put it into a box, this one. And this box, the contents of this box, I emptied it out and then placed it there. So I use this box. Okay, so step 0 is I go downstairs with my fucking clothes washing juice and my phone, and I take a look first. I take a look and assess the environment, and I put down my clothes washing juice there because I know that I will not have the hands to bring that down. I came back up and in for step 1, which is the trash bag of clothes in this box, plus a bottle of alcohol spray in this box. I go down and I did it. I didn't have to wear gloves because the clothes are dirty anyways, so I can just use my bare hands. It's fine. So I threw the clothes in, and I also use the alcohol spray to spray the dryer, not the washer. I only have a little left, so I would rather do the dryer than the washer because theoretically the washer should be clean already. That's step 1. Came back up and I spent like half an hour trying to dig out the gloves and the plastic bags. And then I went back down. Turns out I still have 11 minutes left. So I went back up again and then went back down. I have almost no quarters left. I have a bunch, but not enough to sustain me for another laundry next week. So I thought I should just ask the Jewish woman for money. And she told me just download the app. And I'm like, really? There's an app? So, yeah, between step 1 and step 2, I went back down once. And I found, and I was like, oh, there are 11 minutes left. And I was going to come back up. But I was like, okay, I can stay down there a little longer to figure out this app thing. So I downloaded the app. And it downloaded the wrong one. And it's asking for my social security number, and there's this whole thing, and I tried to call them, but turns out it's the wrong app, so I downloaded the right app, came back up, and then came back down again 10 minutes later, and essentially this time I need to wear gloves, because the clothes from the washer are clean. And so I went down with gloves, and I don't need to bring any box or whatever, just gloves. And I essentially took off my gloves and then threw the clothes from washer's dryer. One black sock fell to the ground, which was very infuriating, but you know what? It's whatever. I patted the dust and whatever goofy shit off, and then, you know, whatever. So that's that. Gloves are so damn good. Why didn't I think of using gloves back in March? I don't know. I guess I just wasn't as well versed. But I'm using gloves now, and they're fucking handy as hell. And then came back up and made myself lunch, which is tortilla wrapped up with tuna, black beans, and potatoes, and it's I made a mess, but it's okay. Went back down, and I used gloves again, and then a box, and then a clean plastic bag. And then I just threw them all in the plastic bag. I thought the plastic bag wouldn't be big enough, but it's just right. It almost toppled, but it's just the right size. And that's pretty much it. I succeeded in one laundry. I'm going to do that one more time, and then I'm done. Okay, I'm done. So, yeah, this is fantastic. And then I did nothing else all that important for the rest of the day, even though I should be. I am going to cook dinner now, which is going to be spaghetti, the leftover chicken thighs, as well as some salad, and then I think it's good. I think it's all good. I should really begin looking at the USC stuff, the USC Triple Link stuff. I should really do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Not much else to worry about. Not much else to think about. Not much else to worry about. Tomorrow is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to call Tova later, actually. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be pretty cool because I'm going to order takeout and have a little happy solo night. September 7th and 8th will be extremely interesting. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then maybe I'll hang out with Tova tomorrow as well. But doesn't really matter because September 8th I'll be seeing her again. She even said that maybe we can squeeze Benny part 2 in for the final interview. So yeah, I gotta call her. A lot of diplomatic relationships shit going on. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Gotta clear my storage space. Even if I clear all the storage space in my phone, when I film myself, I have 34 minutes left. That's not good.